Okay, everyone. When you're walking down the street, some will eventually or very excited, right? When you're walking down the street, someone eventually will come up to you, ask for money. Only in San Francisco? Oh, in the Netherlands too. In the Netherlands too. The story is actually about San Francisco. So, they want a newspaper, they want your donations, or there's a homeless guy asking directly for money. At least that's what they do in the Netherlands. And last year I was in San Francisco. I was invited there to join the PayPal conference. I was there.
Is your thing on?
I think it's on, but it's not. It's just recording. Need to talk louder? Okay, I'll try. And I was there. I was invited by eBay there, and this has nothing to do with the story. I just like showing the picture. I think it's cool. But I was there in San Francisco, and I was walking around. It was my second time in San Francisco. Not really familiar with the place. Google Maps wasn't working. There was all the tall buildings. So I was walking around San Francisco, a bit disoriented. And at a moment I was standing in a corner of a street, not sure where to go. And this homeless guy started talking to me. He was giving me advice on where to go, where not to go, what the dangerous places were, where I could go for some good food, some good shopping. And we were talking about 5 minutes, he giving me advice. And after 5 minutes, we were about done. He asked me for money for the metro. And normally, when someone asks money on the street, I don't do that. When they directly ask for money, but I was actually happy he asked for money so I could pay him, repay him for what that he helped me. That's actually what my session will be about: how to persuade people to do something online. I want to apply it online and use basic human behavior to do so. Without coercion or deception. And if you were here thinking about this was a session about online dating, it's not. Sorry, so no one leaving? Okay, this is me. Short introduction about me. You're not here because of me, but that you have an idea where I come from. I studied psychology in the Netherlands. I'm a psychologist. I can talk nerdy, but keep it on a high level. I've been working with Joomla since it was called Mambo, so that's a long time, I think. I started a local Dutch community, translations, and a local community website, forum, organized Joomla days in the Netherlands. 4 years ago, I also started with Magento, the e-commerce platform. Maybe some of you know it. And I work at a company called ISM E-Company in the Netherlands. That's one of the larger e-commerce companies in the Netherlands. My Twitter handle, if you want to tweet, and of course the hashtag of today. This is my presentation. I will give you a link to the online presentation at the end of the session. Write down all your notes. Part 1 is about theory, how we as humans behave in daily life and how we can apply that online. In this practice session, I will apply this scientific knowledge on websites and how we can use that to influence people online, visiting our websites or web shops. And the third part is a bit of looking forward, what we can expect in the coming years. Still okay in the back? Yeah. Okay, theory. You're online and you have a big problem when you're trying to convert users. Just as a quick update, if you want a conversion rate, so total orders, or total actions on your website, can be a newsletter subscription, divided by the total number of visitors. So when you have 300 orders, 20,000 visitors, you have a conversion rate of 1.5%. There's a big difference between online conversion rates and offline conversion rates. These are just average numbers for fashion, but they're different because in different areas. But in general, there's a big difference. To show you some good online conversion rates, Amazon 6.3, Staples office supplies, Pro Flowers, and online supermarket.
Wow.
That's huge, but still, if you think about it, if you go to an offline supermarket, how many people walk out of that supermarket without a bag of supplies? Not much. So there's still a big difference between offline and online. So why is online so low? We miss a lot of things when we are online. We only have a screen to communicate with our visitors. We can't smell, we can't touch the products. We can try them on. You can see if something fits or not. There's no commitment. You don't see people in the supermarket throwing all kind of stuff in their basket and leaving it at the counter and walking away without paying. It doesn't happen that much offline. And personalization, we see it more and more online, but it's still very difficult. While offline, if you go to someone, to a store, the people behind the desk, he knows you, you've been there buying cheese for 20 years, he knows what you like and what you don't like, he can give personal advice to you. That's a lot more difficult online. Those are just some examples what we can do online. Of course there's a solution. That's why you're here. It's an old picture, sorry for that, but our decisions are made unconscious. About 70 to 90% of all our daily decisions we make. How we stand up, what clothes we put on, how we put them on, how you button your shirt, how you tie your shoes, how you open a door. You don't think about it. There are thousands and thousands of decisions daily. You don't think about it, and you be very happy. So you would go crazy if you had to think about it. Some examples, some shortcuts we make in our brain. If something is expensive, it's probably good. Apple. If someone is wearing a white coat, it's probably been to college, studied something important, probably telling the truth, right? More is always better. If you get more for the same price, it's probably better. If someone tells us you gotta do this and this because, it's probably a good reason. When we put something on eBay, we polish it before we put it on. It looks better. If it's beautiful, it's user-friendly. I'm not gonna cough again. When we don't know something, it's a bit creepy. And the other way around, when something is familiar, we feel a lot more safe. And we make those shortcuts because we have limited time, limited resources to make all these decisions. So we have shortcuts that work most of the time. And these automated thoughts and actions, we call them heuristics. And like I said, they work most of the time, but they give us a bias. We don't have all the information, so we make decisions that work most of the time, but sometimes there might be a bit off. Yeah, let's try one. The availability heuristic. If I show you this picture, these are some deadly situations, and the pictures stand for all the deadly situations all around the world. The people that die from terrorism, people that die from airplane crashes, people that die from any natural disaster all around the world. and a swimming pool. If I ask you which picture doesn't belong, I think it's safe to assume everyone will choose the swimming pool. But why?
It's more familiar.
It's familiar.
More comfortable.
It's more common. Doesn't feel that
Just more data.
it's nice.
You don't see a corpse floating on the pool.
No corpse. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Less
Um,
intimidating.
yeah.
Enjoy those two.
Yeah. Well, actually, 50% more people die in a swimming pool than the other three combined. And why? Well, in the daily news, we don't see CNN news break from someone dying in a swimming pool, because that happens so often, and it's always or almost always just one person. And the other situations are more unique, and there are a lot of people involved. So when we try to remember the situations, it's much more easier to remember an airplane crash than someone dying in a pool, unless it's related, a family member, of course. So that are errors in our decision making. And we, as webshop or website owners, can use that to influence behavior. Well, let's apply this online. There's this book of Chialdini. He has 6 main points how to influence people. His book is about studies applied offline, but I'm gonna apply it online. When you give something, people are inclined to give something back. That's the story about the homeless guy giving me advice, and I was happy to give something back to him. If you ask someone to help you move to another house, if he's moving somewhere else next week or next month, you'll be happy to pay him back by helping him move. We can also do that online. We can give anything away for free, like Joomla. We can give it away. We can give away our knowledge. We can give away software, apps, you name it. Free PDF download, for example. Also, at the stands here, they give away stuff for free. You get familiar with it, and you're happy to give something back to them in a later stage. Especially works well if it's unique. If all your competitors are giving away something for free, you do it too. Customers expect you to give that away. That doesn't work. It has to be unique. If you can make it tailor-made, that's even better. Yeah, keep on giving. Second one, commitment and consistency. People like to be viewed as being consistent with their actions. If you buy Coke today, next week you go to the supermarket, you'll buy Coke again. You're not going to switch to Pepsi somehow. And people like to be consistent in that. We can try that online with people trying to get them in, the freemium business model, trying to get them in, trying to get them to use your product. So they get familiar with it, they start using it, they get all their data in your product, and when they come to a point they have enough users to start paying you, they will start paying you because they're already familiar with the product, they're already using it. It's very easy. It's very hard to go away, so it's very easy to start paying you. Same thing with these products again. They want to give something back if you give free products, but they also get familiar with your products. They use it, and next time they're at a shop deciding what they're going to use, if they see your product, they already tried it once before, and an unfamiliar one, they will go for yours. Number 3, social proof. Very common online, of course, the Facebook social proof, Twitter social proof, reviews and comments on websites. Show if you have a product, show how many people are using it, how successful your product makes their product or their business. Show your customers, show who they are, especially if they are a bit larger, the larger customers. Amazon example, show what other customers do. It shows that your product is being used, that others are using it, and frequently bought together. It gives people an idea what they can do online, what others are doing, and they feel safe. If what others are doing, it's probably good for me too. Testimonials. If you're an expert, social proof doesn't affect you that much. If you're an expert in Joomla hosting, social proof that everyone else is using some kind of hosting doesn't make you want to use that hosting. But if you're unfamiliar with a product and you're not sure what to choose, social proof can very well help you to make that choice. Authority figures. That's why the big brands use famous people to promote them. If you have a connection with a famous people, with a famous person, if that person also likes a brand, you like to again be consistent with the feeling you like that famous person, so you'll probably also like the brand that famous person is promoting. You can use trust logos. These are some Dutch examples, mainly Dutch examples, but that's why we use trust logos on our site for the safety and to show people that we are trustworthy. This is also a nice example. There's a hosting company called Byte Internet in the Netherlands. They've been doing hosting for the last 13 years. They're a very innovative company. They do Joomla hosting. They also do Magento hosting. They're starting a new product. It's called Hypernode, and Hypernode is going to save you as a developer. It's going to save you a lot of time in developing websites for clients. I can tell you much more about it. If you leave your business card at the end of the session, I can tell you. I can keep you informed. But you're probably wondering what this has to do with authority. They sponsored me to get here and to talk to you about this. So I'm the authority here, talking to you about it. That's authority.
You missed the white coat.
Yeah. I missed the white coat. I left that around. No more sponsored items. Number 5 is liking. We like to buy stuff from the people we like. If you know someone, you're probably more likely to buy from them their products than from the competitor, even when the competitor has a better product. Again, we still have the problem of being behind the screen, and liking makes it a lot harder to do. Some are trying it, MailChimp with their funny logo, funny comments. But like I said, it's very hard to get people to like you as a company. But it's those people, your customers or potential customers, already like their friends. That's the whole tell a friend principle. If you can show your customers, your potential customers, that their friends already like you, that's a very strong incentive. Liking attractiveness helps. Similarity, if you feel you're similar to the people promoting the product, that helps a lot. Giving compliments, that really helps. You can also do it online. Give your visitor compliments when they accomplish a task. You can give them a compliment about it. And get likable people to promote you. That's what we see at many business conferences. You see a lot of pretty girls, even at IT conference. You see a lot of pretty girls walking around. They don't know nothing about the product, but they apply to you by they think, etc. Liking them, then you must like the product. When something is scarce, we value it more. That's what all the Groupon websites are based on. They have limited supply, only 20 available. You can also apply scarcity by time, only a certain amount of time left to make the deal. Or you can even close your whole website for people and only let them buy something when they have an account, and they only can get an account when someone invites them personally. Scarcity, it can be in time, it can be in stock, it can be in access. But when people don't have access to your product, they want to get in. So what Google and all the large companies do when they have a private beta, everyone signs up like crazy because they just want to get in. These are the 6 of Chialdini. Of course, there are many more than just these. I selected 4 to give you some more nice examples. The first one is perceptual contrast and framing. Is the way how we show things on our website compared to other things. When you go to a birthday party, you're gonna bring some wine. You're not a wine expert, so you go to the shop. You see this. You don't want to be cheap, so you're not gonna buy the $8 wine. You don't want to be too expensive, so you're not gonna buy the $20 wine. So most people in this situation will buy the $13 wine. Now, the guy selling the wines adds another wine. People still go through the same process. They don't want to be cheap. They won't buy the most expensive one. So most people in this case buy the $20 wine. The wines are no different. The Economist, the magazine, they offered a web subscription to their service, $59, a print subscription, $125, and a web and print subscription, also $125. So most people in this situation look at it and think, well, this one is a really good deal, right? No one's going to buy that one. Why would you? So in this situation, 16% of people go for web only. No one buys the print subscription, and most people go for the web and print. So at The Economist, they thought, well, no one's buying the print subscription. Why should we offer it, right? That was a wrong decision. It almost flipped. Because this is the ugly brother in this list, right? It makes the other options much more likely to be chosen. Giving someone a reason to buy. Most people, like I said, people make most decisions unconsciously, but they still need to explain to their wives at home that they bought something. So give reasons why people should buy from you. This is a study at a printing machine, and there's a big line at the printing machine, and the student performing the study goes to the first one in line and asks them a question if they can print there. The first question, student goes up, may I use the printer? Well, in 60%, it's still a very high number if you ask me, but in 60% of the cases, the student gets to skip the line and print their stuff and go on with their business. Second question, may I use the printer machine because I'm in a rush? That's sort of a valid reason. So adding a reason gives you a 94% chance of getting in front. But the third one, may I use the printer because I have to make some copies, just like everyone else in that line. But still, it gives you a 1% edge if you have a real reason. It's performed in more than one country, so it's a experiment that's been copied quite often. Yeah. So give people a reason to buy from you, even if it's not a valid one. This is an example for Tom's shoes. Give a reason. Every pair you purchase, another pair goes to a child in need. Over 35 million downloads. Wow. That's a good reason, right? Would it matter? If only 10 people use it, if it's perfect for you, then it's okay. It doesn't matter if there are 35 million others. But it's still a reason to download it. Of course, it's impressive, but choice paralysis. You have to give people a choice, but not too much. This is the jam experiment. This is in a supermarket. There are two different situations. Setup one is a table with 6 jars of jam. The second one is the table with 24 jars of jam. People walk by, and what they measure is how many people will taste the jam and how many people will buy the jam. So, table with 6, table with 24. The tasting. When you have more options, more people will taste the jam. But what it's all about is people buying the jam. So think about it. When you present a lot of options, people might be inclined to click on them more. But of course, it's all about the buying at the end of the day. So you might test with that. This is an example of a hosting company showing you hosting for this Joomla, I think. I have no idea what to choose here. No idea at all. And if you're very experienced in hosting or very technical, this might be perfect for you. But if you're inexperienced, I have no idea what to choose. This is a much better situation. You have only a few options. What they also do here is highlight an option. They don't say why they highlight it, but probably one that people choose the most. That even when you're still in doubt, you still have something to go for. And this one is a bit smarter than this one, because this one you start cheap and it gets more expensive with every option. This one starts more expensive and goes down all the way. So give people a choice. They like to have the control, but not too much. Another example. This is for a web shop. Test from Which Test 1. People like when people look at your product, even if it's a software product, they like to imagine using the product. Just showing. If you sell software, if you're just showing a box of the software that's made in Photoshop, it's not telling them anything. If you can show them a video of someone actually using it, or screenshots, or in this example, a shirt, people like to imagine them wearing that shirt. They want to see how it fits. So in this case, 70% more conversions and 67% more turnover per sale by just changing the images. Okay, this was practice. Then a bit of future, what we can expect from the near future in this field. Right now, all these theories. Right now, what most of us do is try everything. We try authority. We try social proof. We try several pricing options. But the problem with that is that there are different people at the other side of the screen. And we can expect to have dynamic websites that change their behavior to the behavior of the people visiting. If you're sensitive to pricing, you might not be sensitive to social proof and the other way around. And there are studies that show that when you show both, like pricing discounts and social proof, that's a disadvantage if you show both. If you show them tailor-made to the people that are sensitive to pricing, you show the discounts. People that are sensitive to social proof, you show social proof. That gives you a big advantage. Well, it'll go to very personal websites, but we are starting to see websites tuning to different segments of users. This is just an example. And you can see websites showing different content to different users. The users that are more clicking more on videos, we're showing them more and more videos. People that are reading more and more technical documents, we're showing them more and more technical documents. People looking at images, show them more images. You get the idea. These are some tools that can do that. This is a new project from the Netherlands, Persuasion Api. What they do is they build a persuasion profile of every person. It's one database, and they connect to several of the larger websites. It's a Dutch company, so they started out in the Netherlands. And what they do is build your personal persuasion profile based on your API of IP and the cookies they set. And so they can build your profile. What they do if they test you on a website and you're sensitive to social proof, they collect that information. If you're sensitive to authority, they collect that information. So even when you go to a new website, and that website has a connection to Persuasion API, and even when you've never been to that website can show you personalized information on what you're sensitive to.
Sorry.
Yep.
This is getting the information from you or your website?
Sorry? Or?
Is getting the information from you
Yeah.
as a person or from your website?
From the website. The API is continuously testing several variants on the website. They show reviews, they show authority, they just show different kind of content, and they tag that content, and that way they know what you're sensitive to, what you clicked
If I have a website, for example, selling something, e-commerce website, using this instrument, I can understand what is the better persuasion way to attract people and yes?
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
very interesting.
That's what you can expect in the future. These are the 3 parts of my presentation. I want to say 2 more things to you. Persuasion is great, but you need to have your technology, your functionality, your usability. It doesn't have to be 100%, but it should be at least okay before you start working on persuasion. I had one of the bigger healthcare insurance companies sitting in on this presentation, and I knew they were coming, so I checked the websites before I gave the presentation, and I went to their website, typed in their URL without the www, and it didn't work. And that's technology. If you miss out on, you can have great functionality, you can have great usability, but if people don't get to your website, I tried it with the www, it worked, and so that's a technological problem. You can fix that. And the worst part was when I told them, and they said, "Yeah, we know." Okay, they have a 9-month release cycle, I think. I don't know. But this is very important. If you start using persuasion, you have to have a decent basis to work from. The second thing is experiment everything. Everything you read online, everything you've heard today from me, you need to test if it works on your website. You have different visitors, you have a different product, you have a different branding, you have a different company image. You do have to, it's not hard to do, but you should do A/B testing, multivariate testing using Visual Website Optimizer, Google Website Optimizer, or something like that. Thank you. You can view the presentation at this URL. At onlinepersuasion.com we have a website with some other persuasionistas. Sorry?
I like the scarcity.
Yeah, right. Huh? You've been paying attention, right? It's actually true, but yeah. Right. If you need some more information, there are some great books on the subject. Here are a few of them. I also give this presentation in a workshop form, and I use these cards. That's great. They have it's a complete card deck. They have several cards, several psychology, behavioral techniques described on them, and you can just sit down with your website team, draw some cards, and apply that to your website to improve it. Thank you very much.